CHAMPS is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. State Champs also working in partnership with the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Hey, welcome to the one and only pure high school sports show in the great state of Indiana, covering a wide variety of high school sports on Fox Sports Midwest and Fox Sports Indiana. You found yourself at State Champs. We're presented by Lawrence Technological University. My name is Lauren Plant. My co-host, Jenna Skelski, will be along in just a little bit. Hey, the highlights are going to come fast and furious as we're giving you great grudge matches and ones that are making history. Baseball, lacrosse, and track and field. In fact, our main event is the MIC Championship in track and field from Warren Central. Our blogger extraordinaire, Scott Bernstein, has another version of the rundown on this week's show. He's super hyped about all the latest recruiting news and other Hoosier high school topics, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's get started. Let's start with girls lacrosse.
I'm Jenna Skelski, and we find ourselves at Guerin Catholic as the Golden Eagles welcomed in the Trojans of Bishop Chatard for the girls lacrosse matchup. Right off the bat, junior Samantha Bischoff gets it going over the top, and the biscuit is in the basket. Golden Eagles with the early 1-0 lead. Trojans making a push to score. The senior Izzy Corns with the shot, but the save by senior Eagle Sophia Bischoff keeps the Trojans looking for a goal. Golden Eagles looking good early on. Sophomore Carly Wilson receives the ball. The rocket shot hits the back of the net, putting Guerin Catholic up 2-0. It did not take long for the Trojans to respond. The streaking senior Olivia Julian cannot be stopped. She makes the deposit in the net as the Trojans pull within one. Here is Lady Trojan Lily Atha and her strength. Slipping into the slot, that goal ties this one up at 2-2. Bishop Chatard would pull away in the game. Junior Sarah Meek with the nice moves to the net, and she buries it. Bishop Chatard comes out on top, beating Guerin Catholic 12-6, your final. It's time now to take a look inside Lawrence Technological University. The College of Architecture and Design showcased its finest minds at the Woodward Gallery in Detroit this year. The goal of this event is for seniors to share their thesis they've developed since the beginning of the school year. Let's go check it out.
VR game based around the illusion of choice in video games, so if your choices really matter in the long run. But it's sort of evolved into just a fun little VR experience. Specifically at Lawrence Tech, the people here are awesome. The faculty is great. I know them on a personal level. We're on a first name basis.
I've been having a really great time. I mean, it's one of those things that I've been preparing for a whole year, and it still doesn't really feel like it's actually happening. We've been working on the same project for a whole year, and actually being at the end of it is just such a crazy, unreal kind of experience.
If you'd like to learn more about the College of Architecture and Design at Lawrence Technological University, go visit ltu.edu.
State Champs is your home for high school sports, and we are currently looking for sponsors who share the same passion as we do. High school sports connect communities like no other. We are here 35 weeks a year, and there just isn't anybody doing what we're doing. We can customize a partnership that includes broadcast and digital. Chris Landis is our Indiana sales manager and would love to talk to you about a variety of sponsorship options. Please send him an email at clandis@yellowflagproductions.com. More highlights up ahead. Stay with us.
I've always been really good at math and science, and I knew I wanted to work in healthcare, but not as a doctor. So I chose Lawrence Tech's biomedical engineering program. I've pushed myself to take internships, like this one, at a hospital in an orthopedic research lab. Thanks to Lawrence Tech's unique, hands-on style of education, I'm graduating with a published research paper and a job. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
I love working for Stryker.
I'm genuinely excited to come to work every day.
We support each other and look out for each other.
I love Stryker because we are like a family.
At Stryker, I own my career.
There are so many different places Stryker can take me in the next 5 years.
Together
with our
customers,
we are driven
to make
healthcare better.
Great people with a strong mission and values can accomplish great things together.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
I'm Kevin Trozinski, and we hit the turf at Westfield High as the Shamrocks hosted the Raiders from Northridge. Westfield starting the season off on the right foot with a 9-3 record, but Northridge standing above 500 at 3-2, looking for that W tonight. Starting us off is Westfield on the attack. The junior, Jack Green, lurking behind the net. He will find fellow junior Parker Ruggles, a stutter step, then the shot, top shelf for the goal, putting the Shamrocks up 1-0 early in the first. Slick moves happen often in lacrosse, and executing them is a treat when we see them. Junior Mason Otto is being pummeled by the defense, but the behind-the-back pass to Green, he goes top cheddar again, beating the keeper, Westfield increasing their lead. 3 is a good number, right? Westfield junior Landon Lawrence makes his move around the perimeter, the dish to Green, and Jack will net the hat trick. Hats off to the junior, and the Shamrocks up big 4-0. Northridge down a dozen, still looking to light up the board. Senior Jacob Tiffany with the shot, but the save by junior keep, Carter Buck keeps the lights off. Westfield not letting up, however. Parker Ruggles prances towards the net, and he is met by 3 Raiders trying to take the ball away, and they do just that. However, the Rocks still on the attack. Green with the rocket dish to Landon Lawrence, and that goal is in. Westfield adding more to the board. With the game out of reach, Northridge would get a few goals, including this one from junior Josh Beard. Westfield would be victorious as they defeat Northridge 18-4, your final.
All right, welcome back into the rundown. I'm Scott Bernstein. I'm here at State Champs every week talking about high school sports in the state of Indiana. This week, we're going to talk about some commitments, a signing, and some boss moves on the coaching landscape. Some big splash movement in the basketball coaching ranks that we should discuss. So we got some bosses, some ballers, and some shot callers, and we're going to get to them right now. Let's start on the boys basketball recruiting landscape. We got Jaden Ivey, the superstar junior guard from Mishiaqua Marion, committing to Purdue. Then we got senior Ben Davis guard Jalen Windham signing with Creighton. He had been committed to Georgia State, and then Georgia State's head coach Ron Hunter took the Tulane job. Windham reopened his recruitment. Ivy is one of the best combo guards in the state. He averaged 25 points a game last year, comes from an elite bloodline. His mom played in the WNBA. His dad and his grandpa both played in the NFL. He is explosive and efficient. Jalen Windham coming off a huge run in the state tournament where he took his Ben Davis Giants into the state finals. Averaged 18 points a game during the regular season, up the ante in the playoffs, averaged 22 points a game and close to 45% shooting from three-point range. Now let's move to some big splash coaching moves. Warren Central's Chris Byers left Warrior Land and took the job at Franklin Central. Just some seismic movement, ground shaking in the Indianapolis area. Byers was a superstar on the bench at Warren Central, was there for 4 years, won almost 100 games, 76-6 over the last 3 seasons, won a state title with an undefeated season in 2018. This past year's Warriors squad went 21-3. He's got a rebuilding project on his hands at Franklin Central. They only won 3 games last year. Let's move over to the gridiron where Avon defensive tackle Nathaniel James, he's headed to the Pac-12. He committed to Washington State. A bit of a stunner. A lot of people thought he was destined for Bloomington, where big brother Samson James, the best running back in the state of Indiana right now, he's a senior. He's heading to Indiana next year. A lot of people thought baby bro, Nate the Great, was going to follow him, but he's going to Washington State. He's going to be a Cougar. Nate James, mobile, agile, versatile in the trenches, just a tycoon of terror, plugging the run and getting into the backfield, disrupting the quarterback. He registered 75 tackles and 5 sacks last year. And then we'll finish off with some offers from the gridiron. Alabama and Nick Saban came into the Indianapolis area last week and threw offers at Avon offensive tackle Blake Fisher, the #1 recruit in the sophomore class, and Josh Fryer from Beech Grove, one of the best centers in all of America. They have a chance to go play down with the Tuscaloosa Express. I'm Scott Bernstein. Check back next week on The Rundown.
If you love esports and you love League of Legends, check out replays of our State Champs esports season. Over 50 schools from Indiana, Michigan, including from all over the state, are taking part in this league, and the tournament championship is coming up the weekend of May 18th, right here at Lawrence Technological University. You can watch selected matches and check out our weekly digital recap show by going to statechampsesports.net. Follow State Champs Esports on social media. If you weren't a part of it this season, get ready because this fall, it's all about Rocket League. Esports are the fastest growing sports on the planet, and State Champs is embracing it. Go to statechampsesports.net. More highlights coming up next.
I admit it. I love working with money, negotiating, and making big decisions. That's why I'm majoring in finance and economics at Lawrence Tech. What's truly amazing about the education here is the small class sizes that give me easy access to my professors who truly care about my future. They even helped me get a great internship. And I was able to fulfill my lifelong dream of playing college golf. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome to Hungry Howie's.
We ordered one of the new stuffed flavored crust pizzas. Sorry, when my stomach talks, I always listen. Of course I'll share it with you. Do not use that language with me.
Flavor starts here with fresh dough made daily and 100% real mozzarella cheese. Order a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99 and make it a stuffed flavored crust for only $2 more.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Since the dawn of man, storytelling has been the most effective and engaging means of communication. Whether gathered around the warm glow of a fireplace or the family television set, a compelling story has always moved people to action. At Yellow Flag Productions, the Emmy-winning storytellers behind our television programs are now helping clients create content that emphasizes their people and passions. Let us tell your story and share it with the world.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Lures and Dwenger battling at Ash Center Wednesday night. Last Tuesday, the Knights rallied from 4 runs down in the 7th to win 10-9 at Schoaf Park. This time, they go to extra innings. 9th inning tied at 8, Charlie Howe goes the other way for a leadoff double. That's not the last time he'll go oppo, more on that later. Meanwhile, back-to-back extra base hits for the Saints. That's sophomore Callan Stauffer with the gap shot, driving home the go-ahead run. It's a triple for Stauffer. He would later score on a throwing error. Later in the frame, Xavier Nolan back up the middle. That gets Dwenger their 3rd run of the inning. They lead 11-8. But Lures not backing down. Bottom of the 9th, Grant Lasher the leadoff single. He would score on an error. Later in the frame, runners at the corners, and Lucas North gets it past the diving first baseman. Nick Berkmeyer comes home. Can the Knights rally again? They would tie the game thanks to some small ball. Owen Profit gets Carson Schroyer home on the sacrifice groundout. The inning ends knotted at 11. In the 10th, more opposite field hitting for the Saints. Stauffer knocks home Drew Aguirre. Dwenger takes the lead again, but Lures had the answer again. Josh Dippold singles the other way to lead off the frame, and Lasher would drive him in. He hits a soft grounder to second, the throw gets away, and Dippold comes home to tie the game at 12 apiece. That was the score after 10. But the 11th inning started off with a bang. That's Colin Quinlan going yard. His solo shot gives Dwenger a 13-12 lead. Then with 2 outs in the frame, Aguirre with the bloop single to center. Michael Finley crosses the plate. That gives the Saints some insurance, which you can never have too much of. Hard shot up the middle by Sam Pisa. A 2-run single to make it 16-12, and Dwenger wasn't done. Charlie Howe at the plate. Did I mention he'd go oppo again? He drives one deep to right. It's gone. Second homer of the inning for the Saints. Howe's teammates loving it. Later in the frame, Dwenger loaded the bases, and Brendan Lytle walks to get Stauffer home. That caps off a 7-run inning for the Saints, 19-12 your score. Bottom of the 11th, the Knights would get one back. Lasher knocks home Carter Picard to put Lures within 6. But Howe would strike out Nick Birkmeyer to close it out. Dwenger avenges last week's home loss to Lures with a 19-13 11-inning win. Another exciting game between the Saints and the Knights. Concordia taking on Northrop in a Summit Athletic Conference matchup Tuesday night, and Manuel Lopez takes the game's first pitch to the gap for a leadoff double. Moments later, Jack Hayden brings him home on the grounder to short. Bruins go up 1-0, and Hayden legs it out for an infield single. In the third, Lopez drives another one deep. This one goes off the wall, and Lopez hustles in for a triple. He would later score on a wild pitch. Top of the 5th, another extra base hit. This time Jacob Jordan doubles deep to center, and it didn't take long before he came in to score. Teron White grounds to third. That'll get the runner home. Bruins take a 3-0 lead. But it wasn't just good hitting that helped the Bruins out. Jack Hayden had a solid outing on the mound. Here he strikes out Caleb Martin on a check swing, Drake Perry a swing and a miss, and Max Glean digging in the dirt. Hayden had a no-hitter going until the bottom of the 5th. Drake Perry down the line for a leadoff double. Cadets looking to get a rally started. They got on the board on the next at-bat thanks to this RBI single by Cooper Harris. Perry scores to pull Concordia within 2. Later in the inning, the Cadets would load the bases, and Michael Moeller walks in the run. Harris scores to make it 3-2 Northrop, but the Bruins would get those runs back. Top of the 7th, White leads off the frame with a hard grounder off the third baseman's glove. It goes as an infield single for White. Make that back-to-back infield singles for Northrop. Lopez already having a big day. He reaches on a bunt. He went 3 for 4 in the game. Hayden then drove in his second RBI of the game, a ground out to short that gets White home. Bruins take a 2-run lead. Later, with runners on the corners, they put on a double steal. Hayden Hesh and Manuel Lopez both take off. Lopez scores for the 3rd time in the game. Northrop leads it 5-2. Bottom of the frame, Concordia put runners in scoring position. Jed Enneking gets Jaden Parnan home on a ground out to second. Then Caleb Martin grounds out to get Michael Moeller home. Cadets cut the deficit to 1, but the Bruins would close it out on the next at bat. Zeke Boltmeyer grounds out to second, and Northrop wins it 5-4. They go to 4-1 in SAC play. Good timely hitting was a big reason for the Bruins' success.
Here we are at Northrop as they will host the Wayne Generals and Snyder Panthers for girls and boys track and field. We will start with the boys 110 hurdles, where Northrop's Zion Collier will finish tied for first with a time of 15.9 seconds. The runner he would end up tying his fellow teammate Keith Suttle. Let's now head over to the girls 400 meter, where Snyder's Peyton Gorman will finish first with a time of 59.1 seconds, followed by fellow teammate Brianna Jackson with a time of 1 minute and 5.7 seconds. Now we are seeing the boys 400 as Northrop's Jace Phillips will finish first with a time of 51.2 seconds. Then Snyder's Williams will come in second with a time of 52.1 seconds. Then let's move to the boys 300 hurdles, where Northrop Suttle will finish first with a time of 42.7 seconds. Then Wayne's Davis will finish second with a time of 44.5 seconds, followed by Northrop's Collier, who got third with a time of 45.3 seconds. Now with the boys 800 meter, where Northrop senior Jackson Brokaw will finish first with a time of 2 minutes and 5.5 seconds. Northrop boys would win with the score of 59. Northrop girls would win with a score of 96.
Hey guys, it's officially spring and we are all about the outdoors right now. We won't break for summer until every state champion is crowned. We love hearing from you guys on what are some big games we should be covering, or maybe you know of a great story idea we should tell here on State Champs. Message State Champs Indiana on Facebook or Instagram, or you can simply send us an email. The address is contactus@statechampsnetwork.com. The main event is next.
I love working for Stryker.
I'm genuinely excited to come to work every day.
We support each other and look out for each other.
I love Stryker because we are like a family.
At Stryker, I own my career.
There are so many different places Stryker can take me in the next 5 years.
Together, with our
Customers.
we are driven
To make
healthcare better.
great people with a strong mission and values can accomplish great things together.
We're getting reports that you have over 40,000 flavor combinations.
That's right.
May I examine one, ma'am? Is this real cheese?
100% real mozzarella, officer.
Explain this dough.
Made fresh daily.
I'm gonna have to confiscate this as evidence.
Aren't you a mall cop?
All units, someone's in the fountain.
10-4. Tiger on the prowl.
Flavor fanatics will do anything for our one-of-a-kind flavored crust pizza with meal deals for every budget.
Hungry?
I chose Lawrence Tech for the architecture program and volleyball team. Architecture is a great fit for me because I love math and design. Now I combine them with technology to create beautiful structures. At Lawrence Tech, I didn't have to wait until my third year to start designing. Our hands-on education begins right from day one. And I'm really excited about LTU's Design Center in Detroit. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back to State Champs. Hey, the weather has thrown us a curveball all week long. Can be difficult planning these events, but on Friday evening, the rain moved away from the area. The Metropolitan Intergalactic Conference Championship in track and field was on. It was held at Warren Central. Featured some of the best runners and fielders in the state, but only one school can be number one, so let's check it out.
The MIC Championship in track and field at Warren Central, and it's about time the rain went away. A trade-off, though, with the wind picking up, and I'm sure these student athletes are ready to go all out. North Central, Center Grove, Warren Central, Carmel, Lawrence North, Pike, Ben Davis, and Lawrence Central all competing for the conference crown. The field events start us off in this one, the Shotput. The senior from Lawrence Central, Lauren Anderson's best shot on the day with a 31-10, finishing in 13th place. And here is Kamara Scholler, the sophomore from Warren Central, getting the distance of 32-11. That puts her 10th overall of those competing in the shot put. Now from Ben Davis, Mackenzie Kendrick, the sophomore does well with a throw. That puts her in 6th place with a 35-04. However, the senior from North Central, Brianna Robinson, claimed the top spot with a 42-3.5. Let's jump over to the pole vault. Desiree Brewer, the sophomore from Pike, while she did well in the previous jumps, this one here scores at 6.06. That's good enough for 6th on the leaderboard. Taylor Yarosinski from Center Grove had the best score on the day with 11.06. We checked out Brendan Haddon, the senior from Center Grove, in the boys pole vault. Great form along the way, up and over, placing him in 3rd with a 13.06. Nathan Stone from Lawrence North took the top spot with a 17.0. To the track events now. The girls 4x800 meter relay, and they are off. Coming to the handoff, the girls from Carmel out in front with the big lead, but things quickly changed. Lawrence North took over the lead, and North Central also overtook Carmel, who is now sitting in 3rd place. the ladies from Lawrence North increased their lead, a lot of breathing room between them and second place. In the end, Lawrence North's team consisting of Carol Ludington, Grace Dean, Gabby Gritter, and Sarah Greer come out on top, beating Carmel, who finished second, and North Central in third. Let's give the boys some love too. The 400-meter dash and the fellows are set on the blocks. It's go time. Coming around the last turn, and it's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. This one between Pike's John Riley, Ben Davis's Maurice Higgins, and North Central's Damian Clay. Junior John Riley comes in first with a 49.79 on the clock, and the battle for second was tight. Maurice Higgins just edges out Damian Clay with a 50.33. Clay's time of 50.41, the equivalent of a hair for third place. We jump ahead in the girls' 300 hurdles race around the bend, a three-way sprint and jump to the finish. Warren Central's Kaja Talley and Ben Davis's Jada Coleman and Pike's Jania Miller all battling it out. Kaja Talley will hit the finish line first with a 46.11. Finishing in second is Coleman and third is Miller. To the boys' 300 hurdles, and this one was even closer. Carmel's Colton Parker beats out Deverin Rayner from Lawrence Central with a 39.75. But check out Carmel's Logan Sandlin, finishing in third with the sliding finish. Talk about effort, and he gave it his all. Finishing us off in the boys' 200 meters dash. Around the bend, and boy was it close. John Riley from Pike focused with Warren Central's Jordan Hodge right on his tail. Riley, with the extra head push, gives him the W with a 21.79. Hodge's time was a 21.84, and coming in third was Mike Adams, the senior from Ben Davis. The boys' team ranking has Carmel out on top with 126 points and North Central in second with 104. The girls from North Central took top honors with 106 points, and in second was Center Grove with 97.5. The MIC championship is in the books. Congratulations to those who competed.
So that's all the time we have this week on State Champs. We're back with a brand new show next Sunday with highlights from the week in Indiana high school sports.
That's right. We're all about sharing the entire high school experience, and we love hearing from you. There are a ton of examples of us choosing the games and stories we want to feature on the show based on contact emails we receive. And it's happening. So you let us know what's happening out there. Cool story ideas, great games we need to cover. If we can swing it and it makes sense, you got it. Just go to our contact page at statechampsnetwork.com.
You can hit us up on social media too. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We create content, so share it. We'll see you next week.
Here we go.
Got you back.
State Champs is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. State Champs also working in partnership with the Indiana High School Athletic Association.